Hey y'all, Marquita here, and I am doing another update for how it's growing. Happy Sunday to everyone. So today I'm going to start with the Aerogarden, as you can see. So my Aerogarden here growing romaine lettuce, and you can see one pod is growing as it should, doing whatever. Here, this one is starting to catch up. These are all romaine lettuce, and this one's starting to catch up. And then this last one, it does have, you can probably see it now, it's coming along. So that's not unusual that sometimes some pods grow faster than others. And I do want to note that these were done with the create your own Aerogarden pods. So that means that I had the materials to make these, and then I put a real seed down in there. I didn't purchase like a kit or anything. I used the Back to Roots organic romaine lettuce seeds. So that's what's growing in these pods. So these are truly from seed that I did, and they are organic romaine. So that's why the timing might be a little bit different as well, because these are like real seeds, but they are being given, the standard time. So you can see it's been growing for 27 days, and this is where we're at. So not too bad. That's about average for where they would be. These two started off slower for whatever reason, but they are coming along. So that means I'll have delicious lettuce, and I'm actually okay with them coming a little bit slower, just because that means that like I can be eating off this one while these two are growing versus having a ton of lettuce at one time, because it does produce a lot, and as you harvest it, it will grow back. So you can actually have one and it will make mini salads. So hopefully I will have lots of romaine salad in my future. And next to it, you see my red Chinese evergreen, or also known as the agla Nima. I can never get that right. But it is a Chinese evergreen. This is the red variant. And you can see it's growing. And I think just being by the grow light or catching the light from the Aerogarden is helping to spur the growth here. That was not the intention. It's just so happened where I said it. But I'm right now, I don't have anywhere else to put it. And two, I'm enjoying seeing the growth progress, because as you can see, there's some new baby leaves here. There's one coming in here, still folded up, and there's a little stem or something popping up starting to grow there. So it is growing, and this is not a quick growing plant. It does grow somewhat slow, and of course, as the seasons, we're in fall now. Fall and winter tend to be more of a dormant season for most plants, so I'm not expecting like tons of growth, but this is actually doing pretty well given the time frame and just the type of plant that it is. Speaking of growth, let's roll over to one of my golden pothos propagations that I have repotted. As you can see, remember last time, this leaf was still coming in, it was still folded. It has completely unfolded now. And then you can probably see it has a little sheen to it, both of these, this leaf and this one, because they are both newer leaves. The others were there when I repotted from the propagation, and these are new that have come in since being repotted. So it is doing well here. It's also sitting there because I have nowhere else to put it. Checking in with the second propagation, same thing. It has spawned some new leaves as well. As you can see, the shinier, glossier leaves or smaller leaves, those are the new ones. And then here, these were also, these three were like folded in when I first repotted. So they are coming along as well. It looks like it might be something starting to grow here. Um, Not too much else to report in the houseplant section. Again, the croton is still, as you can see, there's some new growth right there in the middle as well. My Brazil Landrian still doing what it does, and it has snuck and grown to the floor on me. And then I want to journey over to my accidental creation here. Let me see if I can get a good view. This is kind of my plant wall. Back up so we can get that in frame. So this is like my new plant wall. That top shelf was there already. The Aerogarden used to sit up there. And what I had planned to do was make the second shelf down there be the one where it was like an Aerogarden and maybe one plant. But I put it up a little too high so that like the Aerogarden, once you start lifting up the lights as things grow taller, it won't be able to lift or extend the full amount with that amount of space there. So I ended up making it just my plant wall here. And this shelf on the bottom is actually the one that used to be over my television. So I moved that, as you can see. So here, where you see those kind of like paint looking spots, that's the spackle where I filled in the holes, but that's where the other shelf used to be. You guys probably remember that if you've been watching me for a while. But I moved it over here and I actually like this, and that's why I said it was accidental, because that wasn't my intention to have all plants down there. But that's what it is, and I actually like the look, especially with the wine up under it. So don't mind that trash on the side. But yeah, I actually like the way this looks. So the top shelf is all ZZ plants. So if you haven't noticed that ZZ that's kind of hanging out there, it's been there. That was the one that was up there next to the Aerogarden. The one in the middle is the Raven ZZ. So the black one, it used to sit next to the Aerogarden over here. And then the other ZZ was already over there as well. I'm sorry, the one that's hanging off the side was the one that was up top over the TV. The one in the black is the one that was over here, and then also the Raven ZZ is now there. And on the second shelf, or the bottom shelf, we have that plant that I received in the mail. I think it was the Calathea, if I remember it correct, the White Fusion. That one is now there. That is the Chinese Evergreen. That's the green variant, and then that's my other red Chinese Evergreen, where it was in the bigger pot, like this one. But because it had dwindled to just, it was a rescue plant, so it wasn't like a fully, healthy one. But this is actually really healthy. I repotted it yesterday, and the roots are great on this one. So I put it over here to see, what it was going to do. Plus, with it only being a singular stem here, I didn't think it needed this full size container, so I put it in a smaller self-watering planter for now. Of course, if it continues to grow like the other one, then I'll repot it eventually. So that's what we have here. These are slowly but surely growing along as well. It was also a rescue. So the ones that don't look like they're in the best shape, these were like those rescue last chance plants at Lowe's. So that's why they look a little more on the struggle bus. But this one has actually done quite well because it didn't have as much as you see here when I purchased it. So it's slowly but surely coming along, and it looks like there's some new growth here and a little coming along here. So we like that. And there's a self-watering pot as well. Again, from Lowe's, it came in that, so I purchased that, like the one sitting next to the Aerogarden. So that's pretty much everything that I have. There's nothing really to report on the balcony garden, except for the fact that I did harvest some of my cayenne peppers. So I will insert a photo of those just so you can see what I got. A little handful of those, and there's plenty still growing. There's a lot of green ones on there that I'm just waiting to turn red before I harvest them. And then I'm going to figure out some kind of fun recipe to use them in. Either make some jam or jelly or a hot sauce. I've seen a lot of recipes for hot sauce. So if you have any suggestions, and actually let me go into the kitchen because I want to show two plants I hardly ever show. But if you have any suggestions for what to do with the cayenne peppers or use them in, please put them in the comments below. And last thing I want to show you guys are these two plants that I always kind of forget because they're in the kitchen. But I have my cactus here, and then I have my neon pothos. I know it looks pretty dark to be a neon because usually they're lighter, hence the name, but this is actually a neon pothos. I just repotted it. It was in the small self-watering one, like the singular Chinese evergreen that I just showed you guys. So I put it in a bigger container so that it could spread out a little bit. It was starting to grow, and I think it likes that container a little bit better, or this one a little bit better. And you can see it is growing, but again, it is a neon pothos. I might switch sides because there is a window here so you guys can see. So it is getting not only the light from the kitchen, but it also gets sunlight. It's near there, but that's the winter cactus. I cannot remember the name right now, but I've had that for a little while, and it's growing as well. And then I have this neon pothos. So it's probably not as light in some places because it's not getting as much light by being here, but it is supposed to be a neon, and you can see some lighter greenery in there. So it is a neon, it's not a golden. So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for the cayenne peppers, let me know down below. See you next time.